Hello, hello. Good morning to you. Good afternoon to all. How are you guys?
Very good. I'm fine today. I could be better.
Okay, I could. I don't know the rest, but I could be better.
Teacher, I have a question.
Yes, Mr. Jan. What's up?
We need both the camera because I don't have camera in my PC.
No, no, you don't need the camera today. Don't worry. I'm gonna give you guys the information in like 3 minutes, and then we do as we can. Okay? All right. Good afternoon. We can say hello to all. Hoping that everybody's doing good. Maybe. Well, let me turn this one down since I have three devices connected just to make sure that everybody is good. All right, guys. Today is basically like an extra class, we can say.
Teacher, there is echo.
Yes, that's because there are more than one device connected, and I cannot disconnect one of them. I'm recording. That's the thing. But let me pause one of them. Yes. Can you hear me now? All right, a lot better. All right, guys. Hoping that everybody's doing good. You know, we basically have an emergency when it comes to the Dominican Republic. Melissa brought a lot of water, and we hope that everybody is doing good and that everybody's alive. All right, so when it comes to Itla, the thing with Itla is that they don't suspend the classes. So Itla is going to have 10 days, and after those 10 days, then you are supposed to go to the next level if you have completed everything. All right, today's class, the ones that are absent, we are not gonna take points out from them because it's an emergency, and when it's an emergency, the ones that can be active, that is positive. So the ones that are here today, you are gonna get extra points because you did extra. All right, and that's basically what is it about. The second thing is that I created a video. The idea of creating the video is so all the students can have the information, the audios, so you can complete the exercises that we have in Module 5. That is the idea. Now, I know that we are dealing, or we're going to deal with the past, so you try to complete as much as you can. And when we get our presential class, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to check the answers, I'm going to correct whatever maybe might be bad, and then we are going to complete anyways. So in 1 hour with the video, you are supposed to be able to complete almost everything. Next class that is presential, we're going to have 1 hour about Module 5, and then after that we're going to start with the new book. Now, today I'm going to play the video so like that everybody can get that information, and I'm going to take the attendance. If you have any questions, please ask the questions in the WhatsApp group. I'll answer right back. Once everybody's here for that time, then we close it. At 4, basically, we all go. And the idea is that you can repeat the video maybe tomorrow. You can repeat the video on Monday. So like that, before next class, you are able to complete as many exercises as you can from Module 5. Now, do you understand the instructions? Just in case.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Remember, you're going to get extra points because you did extra. In an emergency day, you are connected and you are trying to do as we can. Other than that, I'm going to play the video, the same one that I sent to you. So like that, you can have that information. And if you have any question, you can ask me in the WhatsApp group. I'll be active. Okay?
Okay.
And keep on breathing. Don't go out. It's raining too much. We want you guys to stay alive and practice your English. What I will do is, the video is basically like 1 hour. I will play like 20 minutes every day, 20-minute Monday, 20-minute Tuesday, and so on, so you could be able to get all the information, and I don't think it's going to be an issue. All right, here in my screen, I can see all your names, okay? I have basically 10 participants. I'm going to call your name. We got Giselle, Jan Meran, Karina, Kelvin, Laritza, Luis Manuel, Ronnie, and there's one that it says W. Rubio. All right? So you're going to get extra points for doing extra. I'm going to play the video now, and if you have any questions, use the WhatsApp group. Okay?
Okay.
Give me 1 second so I can put myself as a host. Perfect. In 40 minutes anyways, even though I'm going to be around, it's going to disconnect. You just have to connect again, and then we'll continue with the video. Hello students, and welcome once again to my Limitless English with Mr. Reyes. Yes. As of today, we're going to work, or we're going to give you the information that you need in order to be able to complete Module 5 of Primetime 1. So, let's get started. The idea with this video is that you can have all the information, especially the audio, so you could be able to complete the exercises. On the first section, we have the information that completes this module. So please take your notebook and write these sections in your notebook. No, you can always pause and you can always rewind. That's the idea. So here we have places in a town, ancient civilizations, past activities, types of movies, personal memories. The grammar will be the simple past of be, can, and have. Simple past of any regular verbs. Everyday English, talk about childhood memories, pronunciation with ed endings. Then you have part of the pronunciation, writing an email to a friend recommending a movie you saw. Life in the USA, The Groove 1960, and you have cross-curricular history, Native Americans. On the next section, you have the vocabulary, places. Read the box. Which of the places can or can't you see in the picture? So look at this picture, and according to the places you can see there, you name them. Here we have some vocabulary: pool, theater, beach, park, zoo, gym, library, fast food restaurants, opera house, aquarium, supermarket. I can see a zoo, but I can't see a school or a supermarket. I can see, but I can't see, or you are supposed to practice according to this information you have there, what you can see and what you can't see. The next section is a listening. I'm going to read what we got here, and then I'm going to play the listening so you can have it, and you should be able to complete it in your book with no problem. Vocabulary: places. Listen and circle. Jane was at the pool, or at the zoo, or at the park. Depending on what you listen to, then you complete it. Tony was at the library. He was at the theater or at the aquarium. Sandy and Mark were at work, home, or school. Listen and complete.
1. So, Jane, how was your weekend?
It was very nice. It was exciting to see the giraffes and take photographs of the monkeys.
2.
What was the play like, Tony?
It was amazing. All the actors were great too.
3. Where's my book? I can't find it on the desk.
It's on the table in my room.
All right. Remember, you can always repeat it, so like that you can get the answers. Over to you. This is about you. Yesterday afternoon, what were you doing yesterday afternoon? And when we do this in the class, I'm going to ask you this question. So after you watch this video, be ready with your answer. Let's go to the next section. On the next section, you have places in a town, and we're talking about what happened long ago. The idea is that you can practice with the past. All right, and we have theater, post office, cafe, restaurant, department store, bakery, parking lot, hotel, bookstore, museum, hospital, apartment building, clothing store, and grocery. Now your homework was to investigate everything that you didn't understand from Module 5. So if you still don't understand it, investigate it. So now we can practice how to pronounce it. I'm going to play it so you can practice your pronunciation.
Theater, post office, cafe, restaurant, department store, bakery, parking lot, hotel, bookstore, museum, hospital, apartment building, clothing store, grocery.
All right, remember you can always repeat so you can practice your pronunciation. On the next section, even though we're going to make a small stop, especially in the class that we're going to have, it could be presential or online, so we can talk about this to make sure that you got this information. Read the exchange. Use the verbs in bold to complete the table. I, he, she, it. A third person, we could say. What did they use? We, you, they. The polluters, they use where? At the museum yesterday. I, he, she, it. Third person, wasn't. At the zoo last Saturday. We, you, they, weren't. Those are for the polluters, the one we use. All right, so according to this, I'm going to give you the answers here, even though the idea is that you can practice. When you are using the third person, we use was. Those are for the singular ones. We, you, they are the plural ones, so we use were. And then at the end, we complete with the rest we have here. So, for example, I was at the museum yesterday. He was at the museum yesterday. She was at the museum. When it's plural, is we were at the museum. Negative, I wasn't at the zoo. And we, plurals, weren't at the zoo. For questions, some things changes, all right? The verb be goes first. So, was I at the theater last night? And when you have the plurals, were we, were you, or were they at the theater last night? And the answers, that would depend. If you were at the theater, then yes. If not, no. Yes, I was. Yes, he was. Yes, it was. Or no, I wasn't. Yes, we, in this case we're talking about plural. Yes, we were. No, we weren't. So everything will depend if it's singular or plural. For the singular ones, we use was. For the plural one, we use were. And on questions, we put the verb be first. Was, were, and then we put the pronoun. Was I, or were you? And the rest of the information at the theater last night. Anyways, repeat this again, and we're going to make sure that everybody will understand this section before we complete the rest of the information. All right, guys, remember that it's going to disconnect in like 5 minutes, so you reconnect again. Okay? We'll continue. After we talk about this, even though you can do it now if you understand it, but this is more for the class after we answer any of the questions of the students. All right? Was, where, wasn't, or weren't. All right? If it's positive and singular, if it's positive and negative, if it's plural in that aspect. That's the one that we're going to check. But this, you can wait until the class, and that's what we're going to concentrate more when we have our class. Look and say what there was or wasn't in Main Street 50 years ago. Make a sentences. So in this case, we're trying for students to complete according to the information that we have from the past. All right, theater. Do we have a theater now around where you live? Or did we had a theater 50 years ago? Grocery store, clothing store, cafe, bakery, and bookstore. What do we have now that we didn't have, or what we had in the past that we don't have now? That's the idea of this exercise. There was a theater on Main Street 50 years ago. There wasn't a post office. Check and practice. Listening and reading. In this case, you are supposed to listen to what we have here and to read it. And after that, complete the rest of the exercises. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to play the reading, so like that you can have this information about this. Listen.
Pompeii was an ancient Roman city near Naples, and Mount Vesuvius, a volcano in Italy. It was a busy city, and its narrow streets were often full of people. In the center of the city, there was a large marketplace and a forum. There was a large amphitheater and two smaller theaters where people watched performances. There were also temples and public baths, and many buildings had running water. The town had bakeries, restaurants, and even a hotel. Unfortunately, it wasn't a very lucky city, and in 79 AD, the eruption of Mount Vesuvius destroyed it and buried it under ash.
All right, the first thing that you had to do, and this was your homework, was to investigate anything that is there that maybe you don't understand. After that, you listen to this section again so you can understand according to their pronunciation. And after you listen to it and you read it, because you already understand what is basically saying, then you complete these exercises about the reading. Match the underlined adjectives in the text to their opposites. Opposites is basically the contrary. So you got to find what is the contrary of empty according to the reading that we have here. What is the contrary of white, or the opposite of white, the opposite of modern, the opposite of private, the opposite of unlucky, and the opposite of small. Once you complete that, then you go to the next exercise. This section, the next one, is about grammar. Again, grammar, we're going to make a little stop, and that's what we're going to concentrate more, especially in the class that we're going to have. All right, so we got here had, simple past of have. Read the table and find example of the text, and take a couple of seconds, pause, so you can investigate what is the definition of had. Now, after you find this definition, you're going to find out that you use had to express something that belongs to you, or that used to belong to you, that now you don't have it. For example, a cell phone. Let's say that you had the iPhone 1 when it came out, but you don't have it right now. And at the time that you were talking, you are expressing that that was something that was yours before. In this case, I had, maybe yesterday, maybe 3 years ago, maybe 10 years ago, I had, and then the rest of the information. I had an iPhone 1 when they came out. What is it? The use of it, first, use the pronoun I, you, he. Basically, in this case, is different than the other grammar that we had. It said here, we use all of them. It doesn't matter if they are singular or plural. All right, I, you, he, she, it, we, they. And then we use the past. Had a bike at the age of 5. Did you have a bike at the age of 5? And in questions, did. Did is going to express that this sentence is already in the past. After that, the pronoun did I, did you, did he, did she have a bike. Now, something very tricky when we are talking about the past. If did already express the past, that means that in questions, the verb is going to go to the base form. Let me repeat that again. Did already has the sentence in the past. So the verb needs to be used in the base form. Did already expresses that this sentence is in the past. So did I have a bike? Did I get? All of that is in the past. Did I eat mofongo last night? In this case, when we're talking about questions, did is the one that dominates. So like that could be in the past. And the verb needs to be on the base form. After that, we're still going to see this in the class, and make sure that you repeat it so you can get this information. When you are talking about affirmative section, I had a bike at the age of 5, or negative, I didn't have a bike at the age of 5. In this case, you have the example, I didn't have a car. Yes, I don't think anybody had a car when they were 5, but maybe, we never know. And questions, did I have a bike? Did I eat mofongo? Did I, whatever it is that you want to ask, remember that the verb goes on the base form because did already has this in the past. And the answer is yes. Have a bike. Did I Your mic. Get all of that is in the past. Did I eat mofongo last night? In this case, when we're talking about questions, did is the one that dominates. So like that could be in the past. And the verb needs to be on the base form. After that, we're still going to see this in the class and make sure that you repeat it so you can get this information. When you are talking about affirmative section, I had a bike at the age of 5, or negative, I didn't have a bike at the age of 5. In this case, you have the example, I didn't have a car. Yes, I don't think anybody had a car when they were 5, but maybe, we never know. And questions, did I have a bike? Did I eat mofongo? Did I, whatever it is that you want to ask, remember that the verb goes on the base form because did already has this in the past. And the answer is yes, I did, or no, I didn't. When you have a question with did, please let the answer be with did, so like that we can know that you are talking about the past and that you are answering according to the information we had in the past. The next section are for you to complete the exercises. If you understand it, great, you can complete it. If not, the day that we're going to have the class, then after all your questions, making sure that everybody understands is that you complete it, okay? Listen to this section and we'll go to the next one.
Pompeii was a beautiful and busy city. It had many buildings and narrow streets. There were temples and public baths. It had bakeries, restaurants, and a hotel.
After listening to this, the idea is that you can talk about your area, how your area was, let's say even 5 years ago, 10 years ago, because what we want to practice is more the past. And I am going to ask this in class. How was your area 5 years ago? Get ready for that for the class. Let's go to the B section. Around the B section, we got listening and reading. Listen and say the phrases in your language. I don't work in my language, but in your house, on your time, maybe you can check. Remember, your homework has always been to verify the information before we get to the class. So even if you didn't do your homework, then make sure that you do it now before you start this section. And then I'm going to play it so you can listen to its pronunciation.
Ruled. Played board games. Played music. Fished. Worked as farmers, artists. Had boats and transported goods. Lived in houses made of mud bricks. Hunted. Attended school. Could build pyramids.
Right, the idea is that you can check this vocabulary and according to the reading, after you read it, let me play it, you complete the exercises that we have from those reading. Listen, you can always repeat it again. Remember, always check the words before you start the exercise, so like that you can know what they're talking about.
Ancient Egyptians. Ancient Egyptians lived along the banks of the Nile River in northeast Africa. Pharaohs ruled this great and powerful empire for more than 2,500 years. The ancient Egyptians lived in houses made of mud bricks, but they could also build houses and gigantic pyramids from stone. They worked as farmers and artists. They hunted animals and fished on the Nile River.